This episode of Dangerous Rectangles is sponsored by K-Grip, destroying Stax pieces and stopping infinite combos dead in their tracks since 2006. Don't let that Isochron slip, hit it with the K-Grip. Get your Pro Sand grip today at theendgames.co or your friendly local game store. Welcome back to Dangerous Rectangles, the show that was previously called In Response, but it turns out there's already a show called In Response about magic cards, because of course there is. Today we're going to talk about Stax. Stax is the colloquial term for a style of play where your opponent wins the game by taking away your ability to play your magically gathered cards. Stax is an insidious strategy, so it's important to know Stax pieces, because by the time you see one hit the table, you might already be in an Omewa Shinderu situation. We're going to start with this titular Big Daddy Stax piece. The name Stax actually comes from Smokestack from Urzasaga. This card is probably the reason why forced sacrifice effects nowadays tend to have a lot of stipulations, like you can't be forced to sack lands, and you're not allowed to sack tokens to fulfill their requirements. Smokestack does not care about that. Smokestack says, give me a token generator and I will straight frick up this EDH game for as long as I'm on the battlefield, for as many tokens as you can give me. Look. Sometimes somebody plays a Niv Mizzet because they like dragons, and they have no idea that it's a 2-card combo piece, and the wrath of the experienced EDH players at the table is hanging over them like a thunderstorm on a Midwestern prairie. That is the thing that happens sometimes. Smokestack is different. Nobody just plays Smokestack because they think it's neat. A Smokestack on the table is basically a formal request for a curve stomping. I'm giving you full license. If you see the smokestacks go up, it's time to call Captain Planet and commit some eco-terrorism.
Motherfucker.
Winter Orb. The classique Stax piece, straight out of Alpha. Each player can only untap one land each untap step. Keeps your opponents from casting things for a very long time, especially if you have some way of, say, having their lands enter tapped. Even includes a handy get-out-of-jail-free clause for you if you somehow manage to tap it. If only there was a way to reliably tap artifacts. Oh, yeah! The existence of Winter Orb and its many siblings is why you should be extremely suspicious of any cards that have permanents come into play tapped, since those cards in conjunction with Winter Orb means you're going to be playing Magic with 1 mana per turn. The unseasoned EDH player will look at Grave Pack on the stack and be like, okay, as long as I don't mess with his creatures, I will be fine. They will continue thinking this until the Ashnod's Altar and the Stax player's token generator of choice show up and make everyone sacrifice all their creatures every turn. The good news is that everyone hates Grave Pact effects. Even people who have never seen one before hate Grave Pact effects, so you should have no trouble getting someone at your table to cough up some enchantment removal. Grave Pact is also available in alternate color schemes, expedited shipping, and you can even get Grave Pact on a stick. Counterbalance lets your opponent counter any spell you cast if the top card of their library matches the converted mana cost of the spell you're trying to cast. But what are the odds of that happening, you say? Roll the top deck manipulation montage, please. Effects like Rule of Law that prevent you from casting more than one spell each turn are surprisingly effective because they allow the Stax player to potentially time stop their opponent's whole turn minus attacks with a single counterspell. Casting one spell can be really bad in EDH, being limited to that, but casting no spells is very, very bad. The nightmare scenario is if a person is playing Urtai as their commander and gets a Rule of Law effect in the play and can just repeatedly Zawarudo the whole table to death.
Zawarudo! Stop saying that!
If you made it this far, thanks for watching. You can support the channel by shopping at theendgames.co, hitting that subscribe button, or jumping in the comments and telling me what Stax pieces I missed, or starting arguments about what the definition of Stax actually is and whether or not the cards I chose met the criteria. Or you could just post some really dank ASCII art in the comments. I miss that. I miss when YouTube comments were just a bunch of crazy ASCII arts like helicopters and tanks and Neko cats and stuff. So let's get that going again. Give me some ASCII art.